let's get into real briefly, and we don't have to go too far into this, but you're very close to Dr. Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson has had a tremendous influence on everybody out here in the internet sphere, and beyond that, in academia, and so forth. What where can we ask you? And I know that I'm not trying to pry into things, but
Yeah.
what's going on? Where's he been? Can we talk about that? What's your assessment of like his path? Where's he at spiritually? What's going on physically? Can we ask you that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't want to go into too many private details of his life. It's his life, but he definitely is ill, and the problem with his illness is that nobody really knows exactly what the source is. There might be several sources. It's related to his autoimmune stuff, which is what led him to do carnivore. It's also related to his depression cycles that he's had, and his father had, and everything. But it is also in some ways related to the very first time, because everybody knows about how he was prescribed benzodiazepines, and then those started to really act on his system. And obviously he hasn't taken benzo since then, but he still suffers from the consequences that of the benzos back in those days. So he has these weird symptoms of akathisia with his, where he has this pain all over his body and he just can't function. And so he kind of goes up and down. I saw him a few months ago, where I swear, like, I was there for 3 days, and on the third day, it felt like he was just Jordan Peterson. Like he had never been sick, and he was talking about doing podcasts, and was excited. And then I saw him again, maybe about a month ago, where it was much more difficult. He would, he could stay focused and kind of entertain you for like maybe half an hour at a time, and then after that, he would just get kind of oppressed. And and I mean, I think I'm not afraid to say it. I do believe that this is a spiritual thing ultimately, that in some ways there are all these mechanical causes that we can't totally discern, but I think that ultimately the cause is a spiritual one, in the sense that I think, like most of us, and because of the role that he's played, and because in some ways of the moments where he's manifested a lot of ambiguity about what he believes, and what, on what side he is, I think that ultimately I think God's kind of holding up him against the wall. And in the end, only he can submit. No one can do it for him, and no one can submit to God. And but I would say that for sure he's not an atheist anymore. When we're there, we pray together, and his wife prays. And he's just, he's also very honest. I don't know how to say, like, he can't pretend, to believe something. And so he still kind of struggles to submit, and to believe. So
Yeah, and all the chat, of course, is saying we should pray for Jordan Peterson. Absolutely, yeah. I've been praying for Jordan Peterson for a long time, and I think everybody should.